God bless you. Thank you for joining us here for our Tuesday meditation on what is called Holy Week. This Friday will be Good Friday. and then Easter Sunday. And this time of year there are, like Christmas, more prayers coming from humanity, more light directed into earth. We can tap into that. We can utilize that in this meditation. We can help humanity tap into a higher, clearer source beyond all doctrine and dogma, religion. We can tap into the source, the great central sun, the sun behind the sun, in its pure, divine clarity. For humanity to evolve, to step out of the unconscious, the mechanized man, those only controlled by their negative thoughts. We have to infuse this planet with new, fresh love light, cosmic light, fiery light, the beautiful light of the Absolute. So before we begin this meditation, let's just close our eyes to this world. And out our single vision, looking out the single eye of spirit, we instantly, magnetically are pulled out of this realm into a higher place, into a cosmic place, into a place of no place, of the existence of the now. Divine Mother, Thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all Thy children. Thou art in us. Manifest Your presence on earth this day. Manifest Your love on earth this day. Manifest Your cosmic consciousness. Clear out the old so that the new can be born. The new wisdom, the new heart of the divine. So we'll start this meditation. Just know that around the world, from churches and temples and mosques, the good people are praying. God's people, for this new light to come in. We can help them. We can direct it. We know where to go. coming back. We know that change is coming. And there's one absolute we know is change. And we allow the change to come to earth. It has to change. It needs to change. Love requires change. And there are adjustments. We feel the change. We adjust to what is changing. And we connect to the change that is envisioned by the Divine Mother. The light of change, the love of change, the peace of change, the energy of the cosmic pulse of the perfect moment, of the perfect direction of change. And we tap into that thread of golden light, of God light, of source light, the eternal light. And if the change is going the wrong direction, we reestablish it to the golden thread of light from the heart of the Divine Mother, connecting countries, places, people, ideas and beliefs to this golden thread as she's envisioning this perfect moment of change in the highest possible good and best for all. And the wind of change is coming. And we hold on to that golden thread. Now wherever it takes us, that is the way. That is our highest good. That takes us to our love. It takes us into the heaven worlds, the lokas, the Ephesian fields of divine grace. Flow with the change. flow and move and float in an effortless surrender. Knowing that you are holding on to the light of the Mother who holds and directs the cosmic change to manifest. For your highest good. And we can connect this golden thread to our family and our friends, to our pets and to our plants, to our trees, to our invisible helpers, our angels and fairies and gnomes. Bring them into the perfection of the Divine Mother's immaculate concept as it flows into the change of crystal clear cosmic clarity. So I was interviewed today here by Pontea, Dr. Pontea, and she asked some very good questions. And of course it was right here in the portal. So I don't get to go in the portal that much. Usually I'm sitting here, but like I was feeling like the inspiration and the answers and the connection. And she has, a mission, a healing mission, and a mission to bring, light workers together, different traditions and so she's a real force of nature. And of course, we met her with Reverend Bill and her father. So that was super energizing for me. And I think, I've done maybe 4 different interviews now. One in New York City with this New Age radio station from Hercules. One from Douglas and Lizette. Douglas started a podcast there. And then who else was the other ones? There was radio something or another. Of course, all the different little interviews I give when I'm at the expos, individual talks to people. And it's to share this perspective of the Ascended Masters, how to work with the light, how to work with the fire. And in the interview, I talked about how my experience with my teachers, my guru, and some of my experiences, and how Lady Clarity opened this portal here. And that's very fun to share. Love to do that. It's kind of a unique perspective, I think. I've not heard it in any religion or even in the Ascended Master worlds. It's like I have a little angle, I would say, that's unique to my own experience. But I think it's very helpful to people that are starting off on the spiritual path, how to work with the realization that God is inside you, and how to expand that energy in the heart, and how it all unfolds. It was a short interview, but it was I didn't get to give the whole story, but it was enough to give people some insight. Some interesting information came through. Anybody have anything to share?
Well, first off, that's very good that you did that interview. And everyone, like Dennis said, the meditation has a role to play in the changes that have to come on this planet. It's coming. It's inevitable. It has to. And so everyone here has roles. that we have signed on to play in that. And Dennis is awakening to his, and he is going to attract more and more people to hear more and more what you have to share, because that is why you're here. Now, sometimes when we think that there's a bigger assignment than we can possibly fulfill, when it looks like, oh my gosh, how could I ever do that? You know, I think about Gandhi and JFK and Martin Luther King and John Lennon, and, you know, you could go on and on. I mean, you know, Bernie Sanders, the Energizer Bunny. Okay, well, how do they do that? They have they're called fragment souls that work with them. So Dennis just got his first ones when he was in India this most recent time. I'm sharing this information with him for the first time, by the way. You know how you had more energy when you were in India than you usually do, than you thought you did, than whatever? And you just kept going and going and going? Okay, that's because you had a fragment soul that was working with you, along with Carla, along with the divine, along with the divine mother. All of those are still there. But the specific fragment soul is working with you to help you have more energy to do what it is you came here to do as that role expands. Okay? So the purpose of a fragment soul is to help us from our vantage point. The purpose of a fragment soul from their vantage point is to learn through assisting somebody else for tips on what they're going to do in their next incarnation. So Dennis's fragment soul may be a spiritual leader in their next incarnation. Does that make sense? And so they're learning the ropes. They're learning how to figure that out without having to take a whole body to do it. Right? So I encourage all of you to meditate on what your role is. And I'm going to share another story here that, because it's Holy Week, and I've only shared all the pieces of the story to 2 other people. And I may not be here next Holy Week, so I'm going to share it. But it has to do with my role, and may not be here on the physical plane as all of this is erupting. I mean, I'm still going to be here for a little while, but so, and meanwhile, I want you to be thinking about what your role is, because I'm going to hand the mic around, and I would really love to hear what you know about your role. And if I can add something, trust me, I will. I was going to apologize, but really, I'm not going to apologize. When I was about my late 30s, I had this experience where I realized that I was a fragment soul of Jesus's, along with, a dozen others. I mean, I was certainly not alone. That man had a, plan, right? And I thought, well, that's really interesting, because in this lifetime, I was raised Unitarian, and they took us to all these different forms of worship. They took us to synagogues and Catholic masses and Buddhist temples and Hindu places and everything they could find. And they said, you can choose any of these or none. I thought, what an amazing religion. It shows you all the options and tells you it's up to you to figure that out. Yeah, it's great. Christianity was really not my thing. Too scrunchy, technical term, but you know what I mean. Restrictive. I tried Buddhism for a while. I tried Hawaiian spirituality. Got pieces of stuff, but mostly I made my own path. So to my shock, in 10 days before Easter, in 2003, I got stigmata. First on my feet, and my then husband was in medical school, and he's saying, it looks like the wounds are coming from the inside out. Yep, looks like the wounds are coming from the inside out. Whatever. And I got it on my wrist, then I got it on my forehead. Showed up for a seminar in San Francisco with it on my feet on Good Friday and my wrists on Good Friday. By the Sunday, Palm Sunday, apparently I had it on my forehead. My students are freaking out. Anyway, so then I'm thinking, and I get stabs in my liver, thinking, yeah, maybe this isn't so good. Easter's coming. It did not bode well for Jesus. Yeah. So on Easter Sunday, I went to Hei'ea, which is a Hawaiian outdoor temple. I was lifted up out of my body, saw about 2 miles around, and I had this divine union with God. And I thought, fantastic, that's it. Came back down to my body, and I got this little butterfly making a dash to my forehead, white butterfly making a halo around the top of my head. Okay, I got it. We're all God. It's fantastic. And so it can stop now, right? No, it didn't stop. It didn't stop until November of that year, bleeding from my feet. And the whole time I was asking, probably what you would be asking if you had stigmata. First off, why me, God? Second off, is there really a God that's making this happen? Because I couldn't imagine that it's me. Third off, what am I supposed to do with it? And most importantly, how do you make it stop? All reasonable questions, right? There were not answers to that. I traveled all over with big gauze bandages on my feet and sort of taken stock out in them. I used a lot. And I told people when they asked me why me, I would say I didn't know. That wasn't entirely true. So I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm telling all of you because I feel a connection with each of you. And, I can't say that with necessarily everyone that comes all of the time here, but, I have a connection with all of you. So sometime during that, in my asking for the umpteenth time those questions, I saw this vision of me before this lifetime. And I'm walking in the ethers with a spirit, looks a lot like Jesus. A lot like Jesus. He did not tell me it was Jesus, but looks a lot like Jesus. And this master says to me, I'm sending you back. Like, no, I don't really want to go back. I've been there, done that. I thought I was done. It's the earth plane. Whatever. Saying, I have to go back. He's saying, well, you don't really have to go back, but I'm asking you to go back. Well, why are you asking me to go back? And he said, because you're going to be this is word's really hard for me to say, a Messiah. And I said, well, I want children, and you can't really be a Messiah and have children at the same time. Of course you can. And then obviously I said, okay. So really the stigmata was, having to do with all of that. So recently I have been told, of course, I completed my assignment. I did what it is I was asked to come back and do. And I probably, within the next year, I'm getting ready to make my transition out of this body, maybe sometime the end of the year, sometime the beginning of next year, which is absolutely fine with me. So what I ask from all of you is, whether it's 3 months from now, whether it's 10 months from now, whether it's 10 years from now, I don't think it is, you just be glad for me, And I've had so many people that when their loved ones are passing, they're praying for them, for them to stay. I'm going, for who? For who are you praying for them to stay? That's selfish. They've finished what it is that they came here to do. They've learned the lessons that they signed on to get. And they get to go home to the other side. We should be applauding them. We should be having a graduation ceremony for them, right? Okay. So I expect all of you in this room that when that happens, you're applauding me, not whining that I'm leaving. And the last thing about that is that it's not that my role is going to stop. It's going to continue from the other side, which I think I can be much greater help on the other side than I can one person here. And I will be checking in on all of you to make sure you're doing your roles. Okay? And, I don't think it was any coincidence laughing when last week and brought cards and I pulled the whisper card. I told Dennis I would be whispering to him, from the other side, remember you're a divine master. You're forgetting. I'm going to be whispering to all of you too. Doesn't mean it's happening immediately, but it's the time is coming. So I'd really like to hear what you know about your role. And it may evolve, it may change, it may grow. But if it does, you've got help. You've got help. Okay? And it's for their highest good, your fragment souls. Remember, it's for their highest good as well as for your highest good. So when I was traveling all over the world teaching oneness, I had 2 of them. I was very blessed to have 2 of them. And when I looked in the mirror, I had 6 arms. You wonder why those East Indian goddesses have multiple arms. That's why. They're showing their fragment souls. All right. Roll.
Roll. Wow.
What do you know about right now?
No, because I've been a player the whole my life, and there are, how can I say, imitating role models like my father. Sometimes people I admire. I want to be holy, and whatever it is, I've been, especially this week, the Holy Week. We call it Semana Santa. Processions and the Christ crucified, and a lot of people feeling guilty, all that. And you feel the atmosphere charged with that emotions that really putting people into the wrong place. And I say that because I felt that from the beginning when I was a child. Really my system reacting to what it was going on. And the images of Christ, not that beautiful images. You see, when I see that, there is something. And it starts revealing more. I see things that I haven't seen before. Right now. But anyway. So all that was the whole process that this Christianity at that moment, I'm not talking about Christianity. Christianity in essence is something else. But that, where I grew up, was really putting me in the wrong place in myself, which I carried through my life. Anyway, I jumped to my 13 years old, my mother, stroke. I have to play the role of caregiver. What they call it parentization. You play as a kid. You are the parent. I was the father of my mother. Nurse, caregiver, nursing him, the father listening to cry, all those kind of things. And I didn't know what to do. But that guilt that has been imposed on me was really taking me for a ride, I tell you, really. But anyway, my mother died when I was at home. And you mentioned something which immediately put me back to that. What I'm talking about is that I saw my mother lying down and her face was so fresh, so relaxed. She has color blossoming. And me, I look at that. And I start praying and talking to her. You hear that, because this is, I never talk about that, but that I was talking to her at the moment and saying to her, Ma is enough for you, for me, and for everybody. Go. I say that. But not because I have courage or no, there was something that is proud from me to say that. And after that, again, the guilt that they impose on me took me with that I said to my mother. Years of feeling guilty. Why? How dare you talk to your mother? Go away. You should hold it. You want to have it with you. You understand what I mean? Till I had a coach for personal development. And he said to me, as a wise man, pinch me into that. You never talk about your family. Let's talk about your family. Oh my God. And then I said to him, well, in short, okay, but talk about other things. But I said to him, when my mother died, I wish for her that she goes. And it was the best for all of us. I am feel guilty for that. And then he said to me, I am so proud of you. What? I am so proud of you. You did work, whether you're conscious or not, it doesn't matter. You release your mother. You release yourself. And you spoke for the whole constellation, the Eastern family, my brother and my father. You spoke for them. I had, my God, a liberating feeling, you know. After all that guilt, Christianity, so-called Christianity, and then I say, no. I thought it was like that, but it's not like that. And then is when the role in my life started unfolding. Of course, with another thing, we had to battle so many crustaceans and barnacles from that education. But anyway, that is mainly the role I was talking about. Yeah. And once when I was a kid, I asked my brother, Roberto, why people, when somebody die, they cry? I remember that I asked my brother, why do they cry? And he looked at me and said, yeah, you're right. You're right, because my brother was, Krishnamurti guy, Yeah, that's right. Why they not happy and dancing? Because they go to heaven. Well, the same religion is saying that they go to heaven. Why they want to hold, like that? So the thing is that it has been, in all of us, has been that answer. But we lose actually contact with the real us. And we judge it. And because we feel it. Whether you like it or not, you will feel it. But anyway, and then I start seeing Africans in other cultures that when they die, somebody die, music, Have you seen that? It's like that. So what a contradiction is the conventional education, which instead of liberating us, they encapsulate us. And that is one of the things that you were talking about changes coming, and you're talking about the way we are subject to that. And changes will come sooner or later. To be actually mindful, there are teachers of mindfulness here, to be mindful not to put that changes and the new in that process. decoding it with the old formations. Because we are not going to change. Because the change is in us. But then he says about to worship. How do you say it? I don't remember. Something like that, like God is in us. You say something like that? Can you repeat? Brother Danny, do you remember? Okay. Yeah. God is on us, is in us. I mean, in the world, if we see it that perspective, the world is a reflection of us. Because we have compassion, we are glad, we are blessed, we are free, we are blessing. I mean, so this is how we see the things. So we are unfolding into a new reality. And that reality is changing too, right? Well, anyway, I don't want to go because there are many, many, many good, interesting things here and people. And I'm going to pass it to V because she is. Oh, what? Oh, you want to hear my assignment? Okay, what is my assignment? I don't see, okay, fair enough, yeah. My assignment, I don't see it as a task. Okay, personal, right? It's not a task that I have to fulfill, like being a doctor, engineer, far away from that, but, or a healer. I don't know the form. Why I say that? Because I think that the same change has a different energy, and the energy has a intelligence which is going to show me what we can say the way or the role. I just have to be in service to that and be part of that. I've been doing some service lately, going to heal. Just go and do it. Just do it. And I went to treat a very dear person, a very dear soul. And by doing that, I feel such a satisfaction. Just doing that. Not as I have been doing it professionally, I mean, asking money for it, or whatever, because it's my time and whatever, I have the expenses. No, just going there and allowing that energy. I feel so in gratitude. That is what developed. Just that. No, but it, I mean, I like money too, I like money too, yeah. But anyway, what I'm saying is that moves me to do that. I did it. Not thinking, okay? So, what is the role in it? Should go with that stream or that, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Okay, and then the way back, I am in Bali Center. Ah, what delicious! Oh, the trees and everything. So, I see that the so-called reality, the world, also changes. Cutting sage. It's like I am a little scavenger, animal, or whatever, fusing. And what I feel is that fulfillment, the gladness. I think that is the way for me. Thank you so much for listening. and being so patient and understanding about my role. And now I'm going to pass it to you.
Okay, so thank you. And thank you for sharing. I kind of see the role and the assignment as mysterious as well, and to just be intuitively listening to the field continuously to hear where I'm called in the moment as it arises. So very present. And I feel like that is the role, is to embody presence, to remember that we are presence, we are intelligence, and to support in that remembering for all kinds of intelligences, humans, non-humans, seen and unseen. So yeah, I feel like it's a remembering and a deepening of presence, a deepening of awareness and compassion. In however form it takes. Yeah. I have a side story too, that I had a spiritual teacher last October who told me, we had a one-on-one session, and he's like, oh my gosh, V, what? You just reminded me of someone. I feel like she's your twin flame. I'm like, what? And he was saying that twin flames aren't like just romantic connections, but it's like a split soul who lives their lives separately, but when they reunite, they complete the game together. I immediately, of course, reached out to her. She's a former student of his. And that was October. She wrote me back just a couple weeks ago. And I have a Zoom call with her because she lives in the East Coast on Saturday. So let's see. I mean, I've never had someone tell me, I think I know who your twin flame is. Who knows if it's truly the case, but it's kind of exciting. And yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right. That's true. Yeah, and we already feel a connection. We are both, and we know that we are embodiment of Kuan Yin, and there's such a deep connection in that already. But it is exciting. So I feel like, ooh, the mystery of maybe there's more projects to come with her. Who knows? If not, like there's more surprising, unexpected, playful unfolding of each moment in presence, in love, in compassion. So yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, yeah, that's that's the exciting part of it. I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen when we see each other. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just the mind is kind of like, ooh, like how interesting, just to even be told that by someone and explore the facet of it. Who knows if it's true, but I just think it's fun that that was told to me. Yeah. Yeah, I will.
I think I have different roles. When I was little, I always wanted to be a mom, and then I had my own children. And I always loved children, but I took some architecture classes when they went to school with a friend, and I think it opened up some creative abilities that I had. And then I was working for an architecture firm just as a helper. And I moved to Portland, and I was working in an office. I was bored stiff. And I thought, what do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. And I remember my mom saying different things. I was always great with children. And so and long story short, I got a Montessori certificate and worked with children as a preschool teacher for many, many years. And I used creativity, I used different abilities, and
I took healing classes and I took meditation classes and different things. And then I retired in June, and I again thought, okay, I don't know what I want to do now, but the healing was always there. And a lot of people, a lot of the meditation teachers, just different people throughout my life said, you need to do healing, you need to do healing. And I didn't listen. Well, I didn't listen, I just didn't do it as a profession, or do it I just did it to the kids, like in the school they'd be napping, and I would do it and send it to them, or, just different people. A friend would call me up and say, can you send me heal? And I said, yeah. So I have just different certificates. So it took a lot of bravery on my part to go to the fair, and I did it for the first time on May 15th, and I rented a booth and bought a massage table and made cards and did all that, and I did it. So, and the people seemed to like it, and I was glad, but it was just kind of like what Carlos was saying. It's just, I'm not doing anything. It's just allowing things, whatever they need to come through. And if it comes through, it does. And if it doesn't, whatever it is, so yeah. And so it's helping to heal me too, because I'm opening up my heart and expanding, allowing it to come through.
Allow me to say just two things that I forgot, and it's something in me that say, put it out there. That service allowed me to meet a family that has been doing a lot of magic on me, connecting me to a beauty and, how can I say, a line of wisdom that I've been in contact with in Europe, which is Persian family. I love Persian wisdom they have. And the refinement, they are very refined. And they connect me with that as a part of the new, the unfoldment. Because the new is not, to me, but there is something which is unfolding, which is upgrading and giving us a different quality of mindfulness, appreciation, you never. And the other is that in this process that I've been lately, I receive a call. Who is it? Somebody that I receive a session from him is a sound specialist. He works with sound, balls and everything, And I got that. He says to me, Carlos, let's trade. Wow, let's go. Okay. Yesterday, he gave me a vibration treatment. That's unbelievable. And all that is going into the wave, the new wave, like upgrading my vibration. Oh, yeah, And, I just want to mention that because I'm in gratitude for everything which is unfolding.
All right, Dennis, let's hear what your extended role is.
Well, my practice is connecting to the light, expanding the light, maximizing the light, and then emanating the light. Yeah, being the light. So, at some point, because of what I've been blessed with, like Carlos was saying, you just want to give back. What I've seen, what I've witnessed, what I felt, what I experienced. When I'm in the world or with my family, and they're in the matrix, they are in the unconscious world. They are in a world of monster movies and drinking and really pain, suffering. So, I feel the responsibility of the Divine Mother, the longing of the Divine Mother to at least be an example of the light. Without a doctrine or a dogma or a belief system, just the light will give them the words, the love will give them the direction, and the compassion will open a door for them to step into a spiritual journey themselves. So service, is a big part of the journey at some point where you give back. And like Carlos was saying, it's not like it costs anything from me. I do it for joy. I do it for a wanting to share. And I do it for love. That's my story. So it's after 9. Thank you, everyone on the broadcast. Thank you, Urima and Carlos and B and Anne. There's just so much we can all share together. And when we do it together, like in these group meditations, it's powerful. I feel like we're changing things. I feel like we are allowing this new change, this new vision of the perfect earth, the new earth, to come at least here in the temple, in us, and through us. Good night, everyone. We'll be broadcasting again tomorrow for the Divine Mother Worship Service. God bless you all. Thank you for all the light work that you've done, that we've all done, that we're all doing. It's bringing more joy and peace to the earth.